Srimatre Namaha, Miasma clearing. Hello, my soul family. How are you all? Hope you're doing great, happy, and healthy. Before getting into the video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so you motivate us in bringing out the sacred content to you all. So this is going to be a very important series on Miasma, which I'm going to do. Listen very carefully, and if you did not understand anything, please go back and watch again, listen again. Okay, so whenever you feel like coming back to these Miasma series, come back and listen again, because it is really very important topic. I cannot stress upon how much important it is, because it is really very important, and I myself took a lot of time to figure these things out. Okay, so I'm going to share my own personal experiences with all these things, and how I'm healing, how I am coping up with all these things, and also I'm going to give out a lot of information, okay, so that you can also start clearing out this miasma, right? So are we clear on this? So I'm going to start, and I am going to make a series of videos on miasma, which is also going to cover the family of origin miasma also, which is again a part of ancestral healing. And also I told you guys already that from September 17th to October 2nd, I am going to focus more on karma cleansing, ancestral cleansing, and all these stuffs, right? So this is also a part of this, because sometimes whatever you got inherited from your biological DNA, it's not only from your biological DNA, because whatever your ancestors, whatever they have gone through, they had the influence of the grids also, they had the influence of the planet also, they had the planetary memories also within them. So naturally you have to clear out your biological DNA, ancestral DNA, and also the planetary miasma, and also the collective miasma, which is also influencing your ancestral DNA, and which is also coming through your ancestral DNA. So it means not only you have to clear your biologically accumulated miasma, ancestral accumulated miasma, but also you have to clear the external things also, like the planetary miasma, like the miasma on the earth's grids, or whatever happened in the history from miasma from the past and previous timelines. All these things are included, and this is like very important, the important to know first, to understand these things and know these things, and then to work upon these things. So that's why I thought that I have to share these as soon as possible, this information as soon as possible, so that everybody, whoever is listening to this, whoever is connected to me on my YouTube, okay, all the soul family members, they should know this, and they should start working on these areas and these aspects. Because personally, for me, it took me so many years to first of all understand this. Okay, so this year I got like a clear picture of what's going on. Okay, I was doing all this work unconsciously, but now what happened is, now I understood it consciously, and now I understood the exact picture that we have to do this work. Now I have literally understood that there is something called as miasma, and I have to clear it out, and I have to do a lots and lots of cleansing process, process. Okay, so though I was receiving these words from previous years also, like 2 or 3 years before only, I was receiving these words. Okay, but at that time I did not fully understand it in this much in this much deeper level. Okay, now my understanding became better, so now my healing also has already started. I already started doing a lot of work regarding this. So after doing all that, after understanding all these, after in a deeper level, after already doing that healing work, from my personal level and planetary level also, now I am like ready to like share all these things with you guys also, so that you guys also will work on these, and you guys also will clear out these things from your own DNA, from your collective consciousness, from your own consciousness, from your ancestral DNA, and all these stuffs. Okay, you have to do this, because if you are a star seed born, and if you are a twin flame, you have to do this. This is part of your purpose. This is there in your DNA. You have to clear it out. So understand it properly, work on these areas properly. Okay, whenever you listen to this video, okay, start doing the work immediately, because it is going to take a lot of time. For me also personally, like it took a lot of time. Okay, I was already doing these things, but now I am consciously understanding this stuff. Okay, but I have already been doing, and I understood that this is like a lot of clearing, this is like a lot of work to do, right? So listen carefully and be patient with yourself whenever you're dealing with all these things and healing with all these things. Sometimes when I was like I was in under shock, like, oh my god, so many things to clear and so many things to cleanse out. Okay, I was literally under a shock when I was getting downloads, and I was trying to understand these stuffs. What is this, why it is happening, why I have to clear all these things, and all those so many question marks and all these things. But when I digested this fact, okay, where it took me, first of all, it took me a lot of time to digest this fact. And when I accepted this fact, and when I digested this fact, and when I came out of that shock, and then I started clearing it out slowly. I'm working on these areas and these aspects. Okay, so after that, it requires a lot of self-love, a lot of patience. So remember these two words, write it somewhere. You require a lot of patience and self-love while doing all these things, right? So start it as soon as possible, because it takes a lot of time to clear the miasma in different levels, in different aspects. Okay, so I'm going to make videos on all the aspects, and I'm going to cover all the topics regarding miasma in all the levels, in all the areas of your life, be it your ancestral miasma, be it your planetary miasma, be it your grid miasma, earth miasma, past life miasma, all these things. And I'm going to give my own personal examples and my personal views and sharings and all those things, as always, right? So miasma is a psycho-spiritual inherited distortion created by trauma, abuse, fear-based belief systems, and soul fragmentation, which over time was genetically encoded in human DNA and resulted in various forms of dis-ease or imbalance. It's not ease, it is dis-ease. So miasma is actually the culprit. It is causing the diseases in human beings, and it is causing the energetic imbalances in you, right? So these patterns are energetic blockages in your body. Somehow, most of you might have already experienced that they are like blockages. Most of the people, they always talk about blockages. What are these blockages? These are miasmas, right? Energetic blockages are nothing but miasma. So we have to clear this miasma, to clear out these blockages, so that our energy, the divine energy, can flow freely, okay, can flow without any obstacles or obstructions, right? And are encoded and passed down in a negative ego behaviors of flawed DNA code design from generation to generation. Okay, so from generation to generation, it will get passed down through your DNA, right? When miasma patterns accumulate and grow larger in the collective consciousness of humanity, they take on energetic form like an entity. Underline this word, because I am going to make a separate video on this just single line. Okay, the collective consciousness of humanity, they take on energetic form like an entity, right? Remember this word, this line. And they can exist within energetic bodies that have some form of intelligence. Thus, miasma is an energetic form, can be influenced or persist by larger entity bodies, such as fallen angelics or NAA. These miasma pattern is interconnected to vibrational theme of particular entity. Okay, and when interaction with that vibration occurs, the miasma pattern can be passed on to the person through vibrational resonance. So whatever vibration you're carrying, it is very, very important. If your vibration somehow becomes low due to any reason, okay, so you are giving chance to the vibration energy which is similar to that vibration within you. So it is very, very important to always keep a check on your vibration. I know there might be so many difficult times in your life, there might be so many difficult experiences, okay, which can sadden you, which can make you feel depressed, which can make you feel, hatred and bitterness, or which can make you feel angry, or all these lower vibrations can happen because of the situations in your life. Why those people are behaving that way, why those people are throwing you those situations at you, is because to lower your vibration, so that you can you are attracting the lower entity. So that's why these people are always there with you, who are the energy suckers, who are the energy vampires. They actually influence the people, okay, who doesn't have worked on themselves, who did not yet activate their heart chakra, who did not have the that heart consciousness. And those people, okay, first these entities, they'll attack those beings, and through those beings, okay, you always constantly feel that attacks and energy drains to other peoples who are not working on themselves. So it is very important to set boundaries, and it is very important to check your vibration level. Even though you are experiencing difficult things in your life, even though you are facing negative situations or anything which can influence you or impact you in a very difficult way, it is very important for you to have a balanced mindset. It is very important to maintain your vibration. It is very important to balance your energies, no matter how much external circumstances are influencing you. So your vibration becomes very important, okay, first to save yourself from this miasma, and then to clear this miasma out, right? So the genetic alteration to the human DNA code creates inherited diseases and negative behaviors such as addiction matrix, okay. And you have to also check what all addictions you have. Knowingly or unknowingly, you might have picked up some addictions which you have to work on and clear out. You should not have any addictions, okay. Addiction is also a behavioral pattern which you have to clear out, okay. Whenever, say, check your life, okay, since your childhood, if you have any addiction on anything, please work on that area in cleansing that addiction issue, right, which are aggressively promoted by NAA influence on earth. These NAA, you already know how many types of different addictions they create, right? So you should be very careful on your addiction issues. Clear it out. If you have any issues, addiction issues, it may be emotional overeating addiction, it may be any addiction, it may be watching something on phone, or wasting your time, or Instagram addiction, social media addiction. They're different types of addictions, okay. So work on your addictions, identify your addictions and work on them, right? The levels of distorted behavior patterns passed down, toxic exposures and flawed DNA are recorded in the cells as the miasma pattern, which may result in a dissipation of original form of disease through each generation of offspring. The manifested disease energy and its physical body patterns sometimes skip generations and can show themselves in another form, but are still sourced from the original disease pattern inherited as miasma from the ancestor. The dissipated energetic pattern is recorded in the cellular memories from ancestry or family of origin at the source, including when the original disease pattern materialized. So if you know your ancestral lineage properly, if you have the information of your ancestral lineage, if you know who your ancestors for like past 3 generations or 4 generations or 5 generations, sometimes know what is going on in your family, know what types of addiction behaviors they have, know what type of repeating pattern behaviors they have, identify your ancestral issues, identify your things in your lineage, the problems in your lineage, the diseases in your lineage. It is very, very, very important. So understand your ancestry, matriarchy and patriarchy very well if you can, okay, if you can. For me, it was very difficult because I don't know anything about my ancestry. I only know my direct parents and their parents, okay, only two generations from me, right? So I only know that much, and whatever I know from them, okay, whatever clues I can get from them, I'm already working on those things, okay. And whatever patterns I have, if you are somebody like me who don't know like past 4 generations or 5 generations, what you can do is you can just work on whatever generations access you have, whatever generations you have experienced. For me, I have experienced my parents generation and their parents generation, and what I am doing is I am, after understanding those 2 generations, okay, 2 generations, past 2 generations, then I am seeing what I am having, what patterns I have, what I have to clear, or what my parents have to clear, because that is also clue, okay. It also gets passed down, right? So whatever how much ever you can access your ancestral history and lineage, you can do that. And if you after that, what you can do is see within you, okay, what unknowingly or unconsciously patterns what you have and what you have inherited, or something which is very different from your your mindset, or something which you have, which you don't even know how it is within you. Like you don't know that you have some things which you have inherited, you might have inherited from your lineage, okay. So check on all these things, okay. Access how much ever you can, how much ever ancestral history or lineage patterns you can access to, and you can have that possibility, and you can understand the behavioral patterns and all these things, okay. Access their energy and the divine, okay. Connect with the divine before accessing any ancestral energy, because you need divine's help here. You just cannot call in your ancestors. You have to go through divine, okay. First protect yourself and ask divine to help you within this, and ask divine to protect you while doing all these things, because most of the ancestors, they might be already ancestors who have passed away, and they might be in the spirit world, okay. So while doing all these processes, so it is very important to protect yourself, because you cannot directly access the spirit world. So first take the help of the divine, and you can ask the divine, you can write letter to divine, which I have already shown, and through divine you can understand these things, okay. Not directly you should go to ancestors. You can go to divine and you can ask about the ancestors. So you're working with your ancestors indirectly through divine, okay. So take divine in between, okay. Let the divine energy come and help you, and let the divine energy flow. Then only you are safe to do all these things, and you are safe to do the ancestral work, okay. So always whenever you're doing the ancestral work, take the help of divine. You don't have to do it alone, because it can be risky, because sometimes some of the ancestors who are like past 5 generations or 6 generations, then you don't know them, you don't know how the spirit is, okay. You are accessing the spirit world, and sometimes the dark forces, what they'll do is they will manipulate you. They will come as if they are your ancestors, but they are not your real ancestors. So you have to be very careful in these things, and you have to take the help of divine energies in doing all these work. So do that work, right? So this was it. Then including when the original disease pattern materialized, I already told this, and this record of miasma continues to manifest in future generations in lesser ways, or mutates into hybridized forms of accumulated new miasma that can create new disease patterns, okay. So whatever things which are already there, okay, that is already causing mutations in your DNA, and you are again leading to something new, some new problem. You already have some problems through ancestors, and now your DNA is getting more mutated, and you're facing more new challenges and more difficulties. It might not be from your ancestors, but because of the mutations, you're facing different issues, different patterns, new diseases, new problems, new mental health issues, and new burdens, okay. So you have to clear out all these things also, okay. Whatever is there within you, analyze it, access it, clear it out, okay. The pathologies do not all present or progress the same way in all people, okay. So most people might have the same root cause, but they might have different the physical form of it, okay. Maybe most people have the same root causes, but it manifests very differently in the manifestation world, in the 3D world, in the physical form. So maybe most of the people have the same issues, but the response to it might be different, the reaction to it might be different, the problems to it might be different. So you have to analyze that also, the miasma pattern trauma issues, and the unique soul blueprint are all intimately connected to the form, the state of the progression of imbalanced pattern that produces miasma. This is true whether it started in the physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual bodies. This is why taking the time to make deep inquiries into understanding oneself at these levels is critically important to spiritual healing. Okay, so I am going to stop here in this video. I'm going to talk about this miasma in different forms, in different patterns in the next video. Okay, next video in the series of miasma clearing, I'm going to talk about some other thing. Okay, but listen to this video again if you want and work on this area. So in this video I have already told you how to identify this forms and how to identify the different patterns in your lineage, in the ancestral history and all these things, right? And how it causes mutations on your DNA and how it leads to some other different problems, okay, which maybe your ancestors might have not experienced, but because of the DNA mutations of the problems you already have, you are again leading to some different problems, some new problems. Okay, you already have the burden of old problems, and now your DNA is getting mutated and you're facing more issues, more challenges, and more problems. Okay, so understanding it first of all is very important. So listen to this video again and listen to the series, the entire series which I'm going to do on this miasma, and start working on this because it is really very important, right? So here I'll end this video, and tomorrow I'm again going to continue this series of miasma clearing, right? Because it is very important, and most importantly it is connected to your DNA, because whatever is there in your DNA you have to clear it out. So this entire time period is best a time to clear things out from your DNA, purge things out, cleanse things out. So that's why I thought it's the best time to do this series of on miasma, right? So thank you so much for tuning in. Sri Matre Namaha.